What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me for a very special occasion. This is the Power Rangers 30th anniversary, once and always. So, as an OG fan, like I was there when Power Rangers when it first came out. And I remember the commercials. It was like dinosaurs and these multicolored heroes and these weird face plates, and I was like, I got to see more. So, I'm very excited to see a reunion 30 years later. So, let's go ahead and get into it.
After all these years, I found a new buddy.
Oh,
Wait a
Rita.
minute, Pausa?
No, it can't be.
Oh,
It's time for revenge.
Billy! Look at him.
She killed Mom. We gotta
Oh.
destroy her.
This is Ranger business, okay?
Let us sort this out. Rita's creating a time portal.
I'll kill you before Zorda makes you Rangers.
We gotta
Oh,
make sure Rita isn't
time
hurting
travel.
anybody else.
Aw,
Attention,
Trini.
Power Rangers! Get to your assigned stations now.
Once a ranger,
Always a ranger.
It's morphin' time!
Oh, yeah.
Your move, Rangers.
You wanna fight? You found one!
You got this. Good luck.
Aisha and Ad, that's so cool. Yeah.
Messing with this place was a big mistake.
They still got it. Oh, yes, sir. They CG the Megazord.
Don't worry, we saved the world before.
All right, guys. That was a trip. Wow. Okay. That actually revealed a lot of info. All right. So first off, Zack. I was wondering who was gonna say it's more for time. My boy Zack. That's awesome. Oh yeah, with Zack, Billy, Rita killing Trini. That was unexpected, but wow. All right, and I know the new actress is Trini's daughter, so that I can see how they're trying to honor Trini, but wow, that's deep. I saw the Green Ranger. Not sure if that's gonna be Tommy or not. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that. I'm really anxious to see that, but it's cool to see. Saw Aisha and Adam. I saw the Bandora, like I said, Bandora Protocol, and that's the I know that's Rita's name in the Sentai, so that's a pretty cool detail there. Wow, so with Rita, it seems like she's a robot, and last time I checked, because I didn't watch Mystic Force, but I was told, or at least heard rather, that I guess she turned good. She became like a good witch. So I guess Rita turned good. I'm not sure how the robot plays into this, but again, just to have this reunion, 30 years later, to see them, and they all look so good too. They've aged well. So it's cool to see them, to see Kat. I'm curious to see. Wow. I guess I am curious to see if Jason's going to be referenced in not just Jason, but well, we got Bulk, Skull. I don't recall seeing them. Some of those putties looked they looked a little bulkier, so that's going to be interesting. And the Zords are CG, which I guess that makes sense. Modern day, they probably don't want to use the toys like they did before, or even the models for a lot of that. So it makes sense to use CG. It looked pretty good, so I'm excited to see that. But I don't. Leave your comments. What are you looking forward to? Like, share, subscribe. For those who want to hear my trip down nostalgia lane, this is what can I say about this? It's crazy to see Power Rangers 30 years later, right? Because in '93 I was a kid, watching Power Rangers, and I remember it came on a Saturday, and back then you didn't have DVDs and Blu-ray or YouTube. You had, in that time it was VHS, and so I remember recording the first episode. It's so crazy to see. It was like, these teenagers morph into these costumes. They call it the Megazord, and there's this giant robots fighting monsters in the middle of the city. Like it was so cool. And Jason, that's my favorite character. And I'm wearing the red, in honor of the Jason character. But yeah, it was cool. He was the leader. He worked out. And red during that time was my favorite color. Ninja Turtles had Raphael, so it was natural for me to like Jason as well. And so, yeah, I remember the first episode. I had like family who also watched Power Rangers. The first episode the day it premiered, and I remember going over to their place and they recorded it too. And all of us, from the little kids to some of the teenagers, some of the adults, we were watching it because we were like, "What is this thing? It was cool, right?" And y'all, during that time in the 90s, like Power Rangers was a phenomenon. Like you trying to find the toys. I remember my mom just calling around trying to find the toys. And finally we got to a Walmart. And Walmart wasn't a super center back then. It was a smaller store. But I remember even getting there. Like people came to get the Power Rangers toys. So yeah, that was cool. And then there was nothing like it back then. I remember the green with Evil saga. They were hyping up Tommy. I remember the first episode. He kicked the Rangers out the Megazord. Right, like that was we had never seen that because that whole saga itself. We were used to the Power Rangers winning, and then for another Ranger, an evil version, to come in, and first episode knocked them out the Megazord. Right, that spoke volumes about how dangerous this dude is. But then to take them on, 5-on-1, it was like, okay, this Green Ranger Tommy is not messing around. And so I remember, and this is crazy, but I remember that first episode that premiere was a Tuesday, and so I remember on a Friday part 4 aired, and I remember just being devastated. The Megazord was destroyed, right? And I remember at the end of the previews, I think Tommy was like, "Don't." Usually the previews or the end credits, they would have, at least on Fox Kids, they would have a narration and to encourage kids to watch tomorrow or watch next week the next episode of whatever they're watching. And I remember they were like, I think it was Tommy was like, "Watch the conclusion tomorrow on Fox Kids." And again, part 5, I remember recording that and wearing that tape out, recording the episode that Saturday morning. I made sure I was there on time to record the episode. Then I rewatched it multiple times that day on VHS. But Power Rangers, like I loved Power Rangers back then. And when Tommy left, it sucked. And then in '94, it's summertime, he came back, and Power Rangers had, it was cool back then watching the actual civilian fights. Because you, as a kid, you buy into, okay, the Power Rangers are the ones in the costume, because watching them fight in civilian form, actually using martial arts, gymnastics, like they sold me on the fact that they were Power Rangers. And so, yeah, so summer '94, I remember they had new episodes. Tommy came back. They had this custom cool rock music. Like I think it was Zords was one of the songs. 541, I think that's what it's called. They had Fight. I think Ron is the guy who made the music, but even '94 when Lord Zed came around, like I still remember there was a little bit of hype because this guy, he has no skin, he's chrome plated, his Rita's scared of him. He throws her into a dumpster, kicks her out, says, "Look, I'm taking over now." His staff was a snake. Like it was some hardcore stuff. I think he had like some kind of weird liquid pumping into his veins. Yeah, it's been he did have that. It's been a while since I've watched it, but like it was so cool. And then I remember season 2 getting deeper into it. Tommy left again, but we're going to get a White Ranger, and I still never forget this. It was I think it was White Light Part 2, and the Ranger from the command center, and the Zordon was like, "All right, now my friends, the White Ranger," right? And so the light, like the heavens opened themselves, and the manifestation of light was descending into the command center, was blinding everyone. No one could see what was going on. And the White Ranger, he gracefully landed, and then Zordon was like, Zordon was like, all right, and now White Ranger, it's time to reveal the identity and to your team. Then you start popping the latches off slowly. All the Rangers are watching. He takes off the helmet. Kimberly faints. Commercial break. I still remember that. I was like, no, who is he? And so it came back from commercial break. It was Tommy. It was the coolest thing because, like, you know, Tommy was cool, right? Jason was my favorite Ranger, but Tommy was second. Zack, they were all great, but in terms of that order, like, these guys were some of my favorites. And so to have Tommy back, I liked his new costume, the new Ranger suit. The White Ranger was cool, right? Green Ranger was still, you know, one of the greatest suits. White Ranger was about on par with that to me. But then I remember the celebration, right? And then Zordon said, what did he say? How did that go? Yeah. I just remember thinking in my mind, like, yay, Tommy's back. Yay, Tommy's back. Right? I'm watching this weekday afternoon. Yay, Tommy's back. And then Zordon says, are you pleased with the new leader of the power team? I said, no! That was so devastating to have, you know, Jason, the leader of the team, who just proven himself a couple episodes ago, because the Rangers were losing their powers, and Jason, he stopped them from losing their powers, redeeming himself from when he couldn't save Tommy, right? Because Tommy lost his powers, Jason couldn't get to the green candle in time, and so Jason kind of like redeemed himself. And then, even Zordon said, you've proven to be a fine and capable leader, Red Ranger. He said that. So then a couple episodes later when he gets, you know, demoted, oh man, like I remember this. It was as soon as that episode ended, I went outside. It was a gray day, you know, representing how I was feeling inside my little heart. And I just remember, you've seen the movies where, you know, someone's just, like a kid is just sad and their head's, you know, all low and they're kicking a can down the road. Like, that was me after going outside. Like, that was so devastating. And then, so I still kept watching Power Rangers. Power is my thing. I love it. Then, you know, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha came to the picture. And I remember first seeing them. I'm like, oh, they're wearing red, yellow, and black. Okay, cool. I guess these are popular colors. And then I'm starting to see them more than Jason, Zack, and Trini. And then finally when the power transfer happens, and then Jason, Zack, and Trini go to the peace conference, oh, like I'm having flashbacks. And all I can think was,
why are we still here? Just to suffer.
But that's it today for my trip down memory lane. I am looking forward to seeing, you know, all the characters from Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Kat, like everyone who was part of Mighty Morphin. So I'm very excited about this. Can't wait. April 19th. Leave your comments. What do you think about this trailer? Are you looking forward to Once and Always? And I'd even be curious to know, you know, when did you become a Power Ranger fan? Like what series brought you into the fandom? Like, share, subscribe. Until then, take care.